We have got a packed hour for you and a full house on local, national stories of the week. Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz weighs in on the health care repeal effort.
Well, we begin with gridlock of another kind, the increasing day-ruining congestion on our roads and the fight over how to fix it. The acronym for Miami-Dade's plan for the transit future is SMART, Strategic Miami Area Rapid Transit, a detailed expansion of 6 rail corridors promised by and funded by the half-penny tax voters approved 15 years ago. But that money was since diverted to subsidize transit operations and plug financial holes. And this week, the mayor's changing proposals for the county's transportation future and funding drew public and political backlash. And why don't we start right there with Mayor Carlos Gimenez, who is here with us this morning to explain. Good morning, Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, good morning.
Good morning.
So glad you are here. All right, so for years, even decades, you, the conventional wisdom, you and everybody else basically backed the expansion of rail in Miami-Dade County, Metro Rail, Metro Mover. And then this week, you said, no, rail isn't the way to go. It's got to be rapid bus transit. So why the change of heart?
Well, first of all, I wasn't a big proponent of rail a long time. I wasn't here in 2002 when they made all those promises, and so that promise was made in 2002 for the expansion or eight new corridors. Well, the SMART plan calls for 6 new corridors. It didn't say that it's all going to be rail. Some is going to be rail, and some is going to be something different. And so, when we looked at what we have now available. We've been waiting and waiting. Hopefully maybe the federal government's going to give us money. But what we have right now available will allow us to buy the right-of-way for the north corridor, make the improvements on the south corridor that we need, like grade separation, make them ready for rail. But you have to understand that in order to get that, we're going to need federal funding. You're going to have to do a NEPA study, which is an environmental impact study, which takes about 2 years. And then you're going to have to get in line with the feds in terms of their funding. And so what we can do right now is buy the right-of-way for the north corridor.
Up Northwest 27th
the Northwest
Avenue.
27th Avenue
But
corridor.
before we get into the details,
Go
and
ahead.
forgive me for interrupting,
No.
but there's, past his prologue, why does there even need to be all of these studies done already when it's been 15 years? And have promises been broken? I mean, there's a lot of money that has been diverted from what was supposed to be environmental studies and planning and design into current bus operations.
Yes.
So how do you tell the people sitting for hours in traffic every day that there still needs to be so much planning done?
That's why I want to switch over from all the planning and get started right now. We can purchase the right-of-way. We can put rapid transit vehicles on those right-of-ways. We can get it prepared for future rail if that's what future commissions want. But our people want results right now. If you're set on rail, we can get the rail on the northeast corridor going very quickly because that's being done by a private company. The infrastructure is already there.
The Bright Line is
exactly. So we can add that
there.
rail. We're going to get new Metro Rail cars that are going to be coming in this year. We're going to continue that service. Fine. But when you talk about the south and the north, and you talk about the east-west, let's establish the corridors. Let's go ahead and put rapid transit vehicles on them. And the operative word here, I guess, that people are upset about is buses. I'm not talking about buses. I'm talking about new technology. I have some pictures here. That I don't believe, if you can look at it.
Let's get a tight shot,
let's get a tight shot of that. Okay.
Of what the mayor is holding up, which is from a newspaper article about a technology in Japan. I'm sorry, in China.
Okay, and so this is that doesn't look like a bus. It looks like a train. All right. This is a better shot of it. It looks like it is a train. It's a virtual train, and what it does, it follows paint instead of following a rail. It is electric. It doesn't need a power source. It runs on batteries. It does 70 kilometers per hour. We can put this kind of technology right away on those corridors.
Yeah.
Later
is that
on,
a proven technology? I mean,
not
this
yet.
It just came out.
It just came out.
month.
But you know what? These kind of technologies are being developed every day. And so we can take advantage of these kind of things, which is much quieter, much faster to put in service. We can carry over 300 passengers in these vehicles, do it 70 kilometers per hour, and get some relief right now. If in the future, as you now have to do the studies for the federal government, in the future, as you do the studies for the federal government and you get in the queue and you get additional money, then if you want to convert to rail, you can convert to rail. But that's going to be 5 to 10 years in the future. Our people who need relief right now.
Okay, relief right now means not the bus and mass transit system right now is a need to ride system. People who need to ride the bus do.
Right.
People who don't need to ride the bus don't, AKA a lot of traffic.
Sure.
This technology, or any technology from the future of Dade County and Broward County as well, you have to get people to choose to leave their cars at home by making mass transit not only convenient, but efficient, time-saving. Nothing, frankly and respectfully, that Miami-Dade transportation buses provide now to people who are not right along the routes.
You're saying the bus word. This is not a bus. First of all, with our right-of-way, it will look and act like a train. You'll have limited stops. You will have prepaid
air-conditioned stations.
Air-conditioned stations. The whole it'll feel like a train and it will act like a train. It will get you from South Dade. Your ride from South Dade to downtown will be an hour versus 2.5 that you have right now. But you can't forget about the other people, the 98% of the people that aren't taking the system, and so we haven't. We're going to spend about $150 million in getting new adaptive traffic signals for the people that are not getting on our rapid transit, the people are still on the road. So it's got to be a comprehensive approach. We have to give you options. Uber and Lyft is another one of those things that we brought to give options to the people to get around.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, the consultant said that to build out 80 miles of Metro Rail, which is what was promised in 2002 by your predecessor, not by you.
Thank you.
Would cost, well, Alex Pinellas could be here one day maybe to explain why it didn't happen. But anyway, it would be $6 billion to build it out. Now, you are talking about, what, 530
No, we're talking
million
about we're talking about
to start this?
We're talking about $1.5 billion. 500 million would be for actual capital. The other $1 billion is for the next 30 years for maintenance and operations of a system. Because one of the things we didn't do also is that we didn't take into consideration, well, hey, you can build a lot more with $1.5 billion over the next 30 years, but how are you going to maintain and operate it? You have to account for the maintenance and operation of any system that you put in.
Absolutely, but let me ask you, if you're going to say run a dedicated roadway up Northwest 27th Avenue where people have been promised mass transit for a long time.
Right.
Are you going to have to use eminent domain to get the land? How do you acquire that land?
Some of that land will have to be acquired.
Eminent domain means court battles for years.
That's right. But either way, if you use rail or a dedicated corridor, this dedicated corridor you can put rail on in the future. You're going to have eminent domain on some of the properties there. The good news is down the South Dade Busway, we already have all the right of way that we need.
Right.
East-West is going to be taken care of by MDX. MDX now, which I'm a member of, will be providing the mass transit on its corridor on the MDX Expressway.
All right, well, let's come back and take a little break. We're going to talk more with Miami-Dade Mayor Carlos Gimenez in just a minute.
We are back talking Miami-Dade Transit and its future with Miami-Dade Mayor Carlos Gimenez. This week, you faced some political backlash from some people on the commission with your presumed reversal from rail to bus, although it's not bus because it's rapid transit. But this week, at least one commissioner, Xavier Suarez, who we might say will likely run for mayor, went in front of the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust, the oversight board for transit, and urged them to put back subsidies from the general budget into transportation to the tune of $50 million or so. He spoke with us earlier this week. Take a listen.
We should not have taken $100 million for the last 9 years from the People's Transportation Plan. And we have plenty of money here in the county. Our general operating budget is $5 billion. And this is only 50 million, 1%. We do 1% this year, 1% next year, and we refund the People's Transportation Plan.
Refund the money into transit that has been taken out. What say you?
We're going to do that over the next 4 years. You can't do it all in one fell swoop, because then you would have, what his proposal is, taking $50 million. He says the general operating budget is $5 billion. Yes, it is, but there's only about $2 billion that are actually are tax supported. The others are the airport, seaport, et cetera, that you really can't take the money out of. Now, even on the tax supported, You have fire, which is dedicated, which is about $400 million. You also have the libraries that have their own funding source, and so really going down to about $1.5 billion. And so when you talk about that, that's the money that supports police, supports parks, supports public works.
All right, it's a tough haul.
Supports the subsidies that we give to transit, which we give about $140 million a year to transit.
Though to Commissioner Stephen Bovo's point at the meeting earlier this week, he said if our priorities are transportation and congestion, let's do whatever it takes to find the money. And he had this sort of alphabet soup of acronyms: TIFF, PPP, which I guess are funding sources of different.
No, PPP is not a funding source. PPP is a public-private partnership, and then you have to pay. Now, supposedly it becomes cheaper. The problem is that in two segments, I don't have the time to give you why things may not work. Okay, the way that they'd like. We can start mass transit in the north and south quarters. We can get people out of their cars. We can give them a shortened ride, a much shortened ride, a much better ride than they're accustomed to right now. We are taking the steps to start to reduce our dependence on the half penny for operations and maintenance, and we've had that in our 5-year plan.
Right.
But you can't rip that out right now, because then people are crying over service right now. If you rip another $50 million,
well, your ridership is down.
And
by the way, transit system.
By the way, that's not just a phenomenon here in Miami-Dade County. That is a nationwide phenomenon.
Mr. Mayor, that gets to sort of the overarching question, which I want you to get out your phone there and show people at home, if we can get a tight shot of this. The real question is, if you have a system that is good enough to get people out of their cars and take a mass transit system, which is a virtual reality bus.
Right.
Here is a color photograph that the mayor brought in. There it is.
Okay.
All right.
There it is.
So this is not a conventional
virtual
diesel
reality
spewing bus. This is an electric powered, but
actually a virtual reality train. Okay, which is different than a virtual reality bus. Okay, it's much easier to operate and much faster to put in service. These are the kind of technologies that we're looking for. And Michael, we're on the cusp of transformation in transportation with autonomous vehicles, these kind of technologies.
Right.
We need to be on the cutting edge of those technologies.
All right. Well, if I could say, sir, 19th century technology may have been rail, but I've been on the TGV in France. And when you're doing 130 miles an hour between Paris and Lyon or something, you kind of say, this is very cool. Now, that's not analogous to a mass transit system in a city. We all understand that.
Well, subways. I mean, I'm not as fancy as France, but I ride the subways in NYC and DC. And
But even in those cities which have 300 miles of subways, the vast majority of people still are on the roads. 74% of the people are still on the road somehow, either on a bus or in their car.
And they have been building those subway systems in the cities for centuries.
That's correct.
In fact,
That's
we understand.
Correct. And so what we need to do is, look, we know what we have right now. We know what we can put in place. We can move the needle significantly. What we can do is agree on what we agree on. We need to purchase the right-of-way. We need to make the improvements to the South Dade busway. We need MDX to do its role on the east-west. We agree on that. What we put on these, we disagree. But you know what's good news about it is we have some time, okay, to really see what the future holds and what technology would be the best to put on those.
But if you're stuck in traffic, as we all are every day, you may say, hey, we don't have a lot of time, but we're glad you came in.
We have enough. We have some time to figure it out, because it's going to take some time for us to make those improvements and get those right-of-ways.
Thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Great.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Mayor, thanks for coming in.
Coming up, the Senate stuck on health care, the president planning pardons, and one of South Florida's congresswomen is with us to weigh in on the week in Washington. Stay tuned.